Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Embodied Woman podcast. I am Anna Fink, the Wellness Architect, and I want to share with you the power of wellness architecture and lifestyle design because truly, when you begin to live your life by design and to reclaim your power and remember your power to architect your health and your life, you realize that health is not the goal, it is simply the gateway. Your health is the foundation for your life. When you hone in and you focus on creating and building radiant physical health, everything else falls into place. Your relationships, your purpose, your alignment, your career, everything comes together. Your health symptoms are simply distracting you from your true power. When someone is dealing with symptoms, all we can think about is getting healthy. Our focus is on our health. But when we have our health, our dreams are but a thousand. We have so many visions and ideas and dreams, and we go after them because we feel aligned and energized and excited about them. And that is what I want to instill in you today is that power that comes from building a foundation of health because your health is the very most important asset and investment because when you don't have your health, it's hard to build anything lasting. When you're building a home, you want a stable and sturdy, lasting, strong foundation. Your health is that foundation for your life. And we have been taught to see health as this finish line, like a goal, something that we achieve rather than something we create and experience. Health isn't a goal, it's something that is transient, that's constantly evolving as we grow and evolve. And it's not this one fixed destination. The strength that comes from climbing a mountain doesn't happen by achieving and landing on the summit. It happens through the climb. With every step, you become stronger, and that is health. Every step toward health architects that health. But in every moment, we have a choice to choose to code our body for survival and reaction or code our body for healing and creation. When we focus on our health as something to chase or a goal to achieve, we imagine that it's out there in the future rather than remembering our power is always here in the present, in the now, because we can't get there without being fully here. And when you live based on there and getting healthy and seeing it as something outside of yourself in the future, you won't actually align with the actions needed to take today because the only time you have to change is today. Tomorrow is going to be today, now, in this moment when it comes. So I want to invite you to reframe health as a goal and see it as a gateway to becoming more of who you are, a gateway to more power, more purpose, more love, more fulfillment. Your health is the greatest gift you can give to yourself. It's the greatest walk of evolution and becoming because it's a process that's about progress, not perfection. And it's really one that asks for our presence because when you let go of seeing it as a destination, you realize that it is your destiny to architect. I want to bring this analogy forward of the mountain and the climber. When you are climbing a mountain, when you're hiking a mountain, you don't transform when you reach the summit. You transform through the journey. Every step, every challenge, every steep incline, every storm weathered, whatever it was, the climb itself is where the shift happens. The summit is simply this celebration point, but it's not the objective itself because as soon as you get to the summit, you realize there's another mountain and another summit and another level. The nature of health is that it continually grows and evolves and it compounds with each action, each choice that is aligned with who you are becoming and where you are going. But what I want you to remember is that where you are does not determine where you are going. Just because you're here right now doesn't mean you won't get there. If you don't like where you are right now, stop seeing it as where you are and as a destination. See it as something you're passing through. It's like you're driving to LA and you get to this point in the road that you don't love and the scenery is not favorable, but you don't stop because you know it is going to get you to LA. And who you are today is not who you are becoming. Yes, who you are today and the choices you make influence who you become. But know that your destiny, your health is yours to architect, yours to create. And your health challenges are a catalyst, they're an initiation. And if you're experiencing a myriad of symptoms of chronic illness, of different conditions, know that you did not manifest them and they are not your creation, and that you are so strong and you will heal. Your body is simply speaking to you. And when you begin to understand its language and its codes, you can heal. Wellness architecture is all about understanding your body blueprint, understanding the foundations of health, the elements of health, and focusing on the body, mind, and soul, the physical, energetic, mental, emotional, and spiritual elements of wellness. There is a difference in everything you do when you focus on health as an experience, as a walking, living journey, rather than a fixed destination or outcome. Your diagnosis is not your destiny. This moment in time where you are is an initiation. It's been preparing you, it's been asking you to rise. I want you to remember your power to rewrite your story and to redesign your destiny, because what you're going through is not fixed in stone. It's just a moment in time. And the more you empower yourself with the truth, the tools, and techniques to heal, the more you rise. The pain serves a purpose, and it's not the ending. The confusion becomes clarity, it's not the answer. The darkness you feel simply arises when there's so much light pouring through, when there is so much being illuminated, and you're remembering, because it's always darkest before the dawn. And what I want you to know is that there's this powerful alchemy in acceptance. When you begin to accept where you are, you can then change it, because you can't change that which you cannot see. So if you are constantly resisting where you are, you create this extension and gap in space and time between who you are, where you are, and who you are becoming and where you are going. When you begin to accept where you are, you acknowledge it, you see with awareness, here's where I am. I don't love it, so I'm going to change it. You remind yourself of your power. This is you in your moment, realizing your power. Wellness architecture is about self empowerment, it's about embodiment, connecting to your body, the source of your power. When you open to remember who you are, you see what else is possible. When you soften and accept, you then collapse time between where you're going and where you are, between who you're becoming and who you are today. It's that acceptance. Even if you don't like it, you accept and acknowledge what is here, because it's simply feedback. But know that you are not alone. You are one of many who are experiencing so many symptoms, and you think you might be alone. You might feel alone. You might feel discouraged. I know that I felt that too. But as I began to heal, I began to rise and remember my power. And so my healing and my rising inspires your healing and your rising. Know that your healing matters, that your rising matters. It's not just for you, it's for the world, because that ripple effect has huge implications in your relationships, your career, what you're doing, where you're going. The world needs you empowered and embodied, because when you rise into your power, into your purpose, others begin to awaken to their own. The point of this life is the path, it's a journey. There's a poem that I love that says, Caminante, caminante, no hay camino. Al, al andar se hace el camino. And it's really saying that wanderer, your footprints are the way. There is no path. You create the path by walking. And so often we get so caught up in the goal and the perfection of one way and one path, but we forget that our path is the way. And when we have these certain tools and techniques, we can heal and know that every step is perfect and your way is your way, and you begin to choose you and transform. So may you have faith in your becoming. May you have belief in your healing, knowing that I didn't have the evidence that I could heal naturally. I became that evidence. And now I am showing you that your diagnosis is not your destiny, that wellness architecture is a way that brings you back into alignment with health, with your power, with your truth. And you're here to rise. So I'm so grateful you are here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me to walk on this journey. Let's heal, let's rise, and inspire a new way, a new world. It's an honor to be here with you.